Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring another video giving you my thoughts on Bulletproof starring Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler, and of course The Wedding Singer starring Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. And yes, continuing my slew of comeback videos, we're talking about Adam Sandler here. I meant to review Hubie Halloween, but I guess I didn't quite get to it. But ever since then, it sort of ignited an Adam Sandler kick in me. Okay, I've always liked Adam Sandler fine. At one point he wasn't really necessarily one of my favorites, but I guess I'm kind of rediscovering him because I'd seen a main chunk of his films when I was younger, but now over the years, ever since I've gotten more of a mature appreciation for films and just kind of film TV obsessed in general. I wanted to give a more, honest, viewing of his work, and I've been watching his films periodically over the past couple months, and that brought me to Bulletproof and The Wedding Singer, and I will talk about the Wedding Singer in a few more minutes because we're going to start by talking about Bulletproof. Bulletproof came out in 1996, the year of my birth. Yes, I am 24 years old, believe it or don't. But stars Damon Wayans and Adam Sandler. Directed by Ernest Dickerson, who's actually went on to do some pretty prominent TV work. Like The Walking Dead. I think he did a little bit of Game of Thrones and some other things. He apparently sees a lot of flaws looking back on this movie. At least from how he handled things behind the scenes. I guess I'm not sure. I'd have to read into it again. There's not a whole lot out there about it, but Bulletproof kind of went under the radar because this is when Adam Sandler is really starting to get popular. This same year, I think Billy Madison came out, and within the next couple of years, you had Happy Gilmore and Waterboy and The Wedding Singer, like I said, and so on and so forth. So kind of in the midst of his rise in stardom, this movie kind of went under the radar a bit. It's one even my brother, hasn't seen or only remotely remembers seeing, which is rare. But I gotta say, Disneyland. I really enjoyed Bulletproof, and I'm honestly getting to be a pretty big fan of Adam Sandler. It's getting to the point where I really like and love both of these movies, and I think he has honestly a pretty great bulk of work. And I know he's done some, kind of spotty stuff over the past decade or so. But I'm saying it's to the point where I like him enough to even find some enjoyment in those bad movies. But we'll get to those when I see them. I really liked Bulletproof. I think Damon Wayans and Sandler have some really, kind of good, easy, feeding off of each other chemistry that works nicely. Adam Sandler's character name in this, Archie Moses, is probably one of my favorite character names I've heard in a long time. Basically the idea of Adam Sandler's a criminal, Archie Moses, and Damon Wayans' character, he's an undercover cop. He's sort of using Archie Moses, to get in closer to some of his big bosses, find out about their operations and everything. But he starts to care about, Adam Sandler's Archie Moses, and so he thinks, okay, maybe I don't think he's that bad of a guy, maybe I can get him out of it when I bust his boss. But things don't go right, and I'll basically just say they're on the run from authorities and criminals alike. Okay? That's all sum it up. I enjoyed it. You get to see Adam Sandler getting in on the action a bit. He handles a gun, which is, frightening and hilarious at the same time. He actually gets some headshots in. You get the whole thing about Disneyland. You gotta watch the movie. There's really James Caan is in this. He's a pretty significant actor to have. He's quite good for his role. And there's nothing really to complain about this. I still gotta rewatch a lot of his films properly, but I think this could end up being my top 5 Adam Sandler flicks, at least top 10. So I give it an 8 out of 10 IMDb. If I had to give it a more specific rating, it'd be like a 8.5, 8.6 out of 10. I liked it that well, pretty good. And then next up, we're going to be talking about The Wedding Singer. Yes, The Wedding Singer came out in '98. It started a set of movies that Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore co-starred in together, including 50 First Dates and Blended a few years ago. It also has Billy Idol's in this movie, for one thing. The Wedding Singer, what can I say? I made an Instagram post about it. I fucking love The Wedding Singer. I hadn't seen it at all. A lot of these I've seen to some extent, but not this one. Or the other one for that matter, but still. This is like a big one I actually didn't see. But I love The Wedding Singer. It's probably one of my all-time favorite films. I watch a lot of films. So if a movie is like if I think it's in my like top 30, top 50 movies of all time, that's still saying something because I've seen it kind of a shit ton. And it's definitely within that at this point. It's definitely probably my favorite romantic comedy of all time. Definitely one of my favorite comedies of all time. And as of now, we'll see on my rewatches, but probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie. There's just so much to it. It's a romantic comedy. It has a bit of drama. It's kind of a dramedy. I like that you actually see some character growth, in this movie, which is surprising to see. Actually get invested in the characters and want to see things work out properly for them, which should be the goal of most of these, sorts of movies. And again, according to IMDb, it's about Robbie, a singer, and Julia, a waitress. Both are engaged, but to the wrong people. Fortune intervenes to help them discover each other. Yeah, sort of. But they both have cracks in the relationship, and kind of they're more naturally drawn to each other, and they practically should be with each other. It's hard to explain. The movie just has a magic to it that you can't really put into words. At least I can't. I'm sure it's been said better than I could ever come up with, but Adam Sandler, he's at his best in this movie. At times he's a bit more restrained. He's a bit more kind of subtle to be a bit more realistic and likable. But you still have your classic Adam Sandler outbursts in this as well, without going overboard with them. It seems like information I should have known yesterday. I'm sure I misquoted that line a little bit. But just things like that, and a couple other instances that are written well enough and delivered well enough and sparingly, to where you don't get tired of moments like that, and it works. It's laugh out loud sometimes. And Drew Barrymore, she is excellent in this movie. Definitely one of the best protagonists in these films I've seen in a long time. She's just such a genuine and natural actress. She has a great smile to her. It's just kinetic, really. But yeah, I love the ending. I love how things play out. Music, the soundtrack, it's classic. I give it a 9 out of 10 on IMDb. I stand by that. I'd probably give it more specifically like a, probably 9.5, 9.3, 9.5 out of 10, somewhere in there. So please, if you have not watched The Wedding Singer like I have, for some reason, then please do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe. And without spoilers, what are your top 10 Adam Sandler movies of all time? Comment below. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and peace.